Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Week 7 is in the books. We had 3 winners within the division. 3 winners improved to 5-2, and 1 loser in the division. The Cardinals continue to stay in each and every game, but come up just short yet again. On tonight's episode, we recap what we saw out of the division in Week 7. And of course, on the second half of the episode, we take a look forward at Week 8, giving you our previews and predictions of what's to come later on in the week. But for now, let's bring in the fellas and recap what we saw this past weekend. Brando looking good in the shades. Jake, Jesse, and Mike's got it's Hoodie Mike. Hoodie Mike unlocked.
Yeah, funeral Mike. Funeral Mike.
Emo Mike.
Mike. Emo. I didn't even have to. What is it? V-Bucks or whatever you got to use to get the skin. I didn't even. It's a freebie. We're getting emo Mike.
Yep.
Goth Mike.
Goth Mike. Yeah, we'll talk to Mike about why maybe the hoodie's on this evening.
Blackfield Brides Mike.
There you go.
Crazy.
Tonight will be the night.
Black nail polish. That I will fall for you over again.
Come my wrists and black my eyes.
That's a good song too.
Isn't it amazing what football does to us? Look, you got Brandon couldn't smile ear to ear. You got Mike plotting his own funeral. I mean, this isn't the sport in a nutshell. I don't know what it is. Anyhow, let's work our way from back to front, because we had primetime games on Monday Night Football, the back half of a doubleheader. That game didn't finish till 1:30 a.m., at least out here on the East Coast. So we'll start there. We'll work our way back to Sunday Night Football and into the Sunday afternoon slate. So with that, let's start on Monday Night Football. Let's start with these Seattle Seahawks, who are making their bid for, being in the top of everybody's power rankings at this point. Just a matter of where you're putting them. They get it done yet again in prime time. And this team, even though towards the end it wasn't the most prolific showing, and you were wondering if they were trying to allow Houston back into the game, if you actually watched the game, they dominated. It just felt towards the end like they kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit. Seattle wins this one 27-19. The defense, that might have been the best defensive performance I've personally seen all year long. Seattle was dominant. C.J. Stroud had absolutely nothing at his disposal. There was no run game to speak of either for Houston. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of things, JSN continues to cement himself as one of the best wide receivers in the league. Sam Darnold continuing to move forward with his new team here in a way that I don't know if everybody would have predicted. They're 5-2. They're rolling. So, Brandon, talk to me. I know the ending of this one was a bit strange, but in reality, Seahawks dominated this game. Seahawks are 5-2, and they're looking like one of the best teams in football right now.
Indeed, they are. It was a game that I think you well captured as far as what you saw at play. The defense leading the way through, and I think leading the way through really on the back of the last 2 weeks, making really the adjustment to being willing to really mix it up on the fronts and really get after it up at the line of scrimmage. Something that was really missing in that Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, where it just felt so vanilla there. And instead, Mike has seemingly twisted and turned on a dime here to dialing everything up every which way but loose. So it's delayed blitzes, it's stack fronts, it's simulated pressures, it's all-out blitzes. It's even the double corner blitzes from the edge coming off there. And you get one part of it blocked up, but you still get the free rusher, and ballsy at that to run that. I mean, even you dipped into the playbook to Blitzburg stuff this week, overflow in the one front and then zone blitz dropping to the other side of it in coverage, and it working on C.J. Stroud. So Mike was in his bag in this game. He has the defense playing at a really high level, and they seem to be improving bit by bit. The scary part with this Z-Bot is that you're going to get everybody back in return after the bye week. So you have all of your offense and all of your defense are going to be fully healthy coming off this bye, and they're only going to get better with the return to the ranks of a Witherspoon with a Julian Love. But in this game, they were sensational. Drake Thomas out there in coverage at the will linebacker position was holding it down, 3 PBUs, tackling well. He's also a really good blitzer. He's kind of come out of nowhere as a player in that way. Nick Emanwari, I've been telling you guys about this. He just looks like Kyle Hamilton to me, man. They've got him playing in that role. He's got the same size as Kyle. He moves like Kyle. he's making plays all over the place and what you're asking him to do as well, be it in the run game or against the pass. And then offensively, it was a little bit more disjointed. You started out really strong. It wasn't as much in this game like you've had in a couple other games where you've gotten out in front and you took your foot off the gas. They tried to pass a little bit more into that third quarter here. They just did it a little bit too much, and it ended up kind of blowing back up in their face with an interception and a fumble and some weird play calling. Kubiak's a real red hot to kind of ice cold play caller, where when he's running red hot, boy, it's running well. But then when it gets cold, and he's not cold often, it's ice cold. You've got frosticles and little ice frosticles. It's awful, man. So it twists really quickly. You saw it with the Cooper Kupp call where Sam Darnold's taking up the field for the third straight drive. You're rolling, and all of a sudden he decides to go to a Cooper Kupp throwing trick play. And Jay can tell you that Cooper's strength in his game is not heaving the rock. But it's really nitpick on this, because how many times, guys, can you ever see a team's going to have 4 turnovers in a game, lose the turnover war 4-2-1, and actually come out not only with the win, but with a comfortable win? I think it doesn't speak to necessarily inequities in this team. It speaks to more of how good this team can be if this keeps coming together down the road, because you can win, and you can win well against a fairly decent team out there in the Texans without being at your best.
Glad you touched on that, because the play calling did seem a bit perplexing, especially towards the end where they were throwing it with Darnold. They throw the interception. All of a sudden, you're wondering, is the back door left open a little bit here? The sack taken back towards the goal line there. That obviously weird end-around throw with Cooper Kupp when you're up 14-0 moving into the red zone. But I think you nailed it. To be able to turn the ball over 4 times, have some questionable play calling, and still feel like you dominated the football game against the team that was in the divisional round of the playoffs last year, you're feeling pretty good about that. And Seahawks fans are feeling pretty good about being 5-2. Real quick, Brandon, it was a beautiful night for Seattle in terms of the football team. Devastating night for the baseball team. I've been seeing some comments in here. Quick thoughts on the Mariners nearly making their first World Series.
It was a hell of a run for that team. You can tell with those guys in the locker room, there was tears all around. There was guys screaming. They wanted this. They were giving all they could in this. The ownership stepped up this year for the first time in a lot of years to actually do something at the trade deadline. You had something a little bit magical in what you were doing in that team, almost a Cinderella feature to them. But at the end of the day, that they lost this series having a really great opportunity to go win it. And they just kind of fell into the things that were the worst parts of them that caused them to lose it. Mainly, they strike out way too much, too many swing and misses. You see a Toronto lineup able to fight pitches off. Mariners not able to do it. They keep whiffing. They keep striking out. They keep having innings ended because they just cannot prolong with them with even a base hit. They're too reliant on that home run ball. And when the home run ball goes cold, unfortunately, there's no more runs to be had at that point with this lineup. So a place for adjustment in the future, but the future looks great with them. They've got one of the best farm systems in all of baseball. This is the beginning, not the end for them.
Well, at the least the Seahawks got it done right next door. And like I said, improving to 5-2 here, right in the mix. There are currently 6 teams in the NFC at 5-2, 3 in which reside in this division. The Packers 4-1-1. So it is all over the place right now, and you can argue in the best way, wide open, and we can't wait to see how it continues to unfold here, especially in this division, because it is tooth and nail. Speaking of one of those teams that's right there, despite all the injuries, it is the San Francisco 49ers. And Jesse, I don't know how you did it. That same Falcons team a week ago, Bijan Robinson looking like Barry Sanders. You got Drake London looking like Calvin Johnson. Then they take on the banged-up San Francisco makeshift defense under Robert Saleh, and they look like guys that were pulled off of the street in this one. The Niners win it 20-10, dominate the Atlanta Falcons. No offense to speak of, really, in terms of their 2 best players. Bijan Robinson, 14 carries for 40 yards. Drake London, a no-show in this one. Christian McCaffrey, he was back on the ground. 24 carries, 129 yards, 2 TDs. And that wasn't all he did. 7 receptions, 72 yards through the air, over 30 touches for CMC in this one to help the Niners, despite their injuries at quarterback and every other position in between, get to 5-2. Jesse, talk to me. This was an impressive win, and Mac Jones continues to rattle off W after W.
Yeah, it was extremely impressive. I did think that the 49ers could win this one. To me, Atlanta is 2 different teams when they are on the road versus at home. As much as it was as impressive as it was last week to watch them beat the Buffalo Bills in the way that they did, that was a home game. Watching them just a couple weeks earlier get shellacked by a Panthers team on the road 30-0, I couldn't erase that from my memory. What I will say, though, is the reason this game was an impressive win is that the 49ers just lost Fred Warner the week before in Tampa. And it was how they got it done. Why it's hard to stick with the 49ers and think that they're going to be some elite team this year is because they weren't forcing turnovers, they weren't running the ball effectively, and they weren't necessarily stopping the run with consistency. This game, that changed from an aspect of they were stopping the run against one of the best running teams in the NFL with Bijan Robinson, and they were running the ball at a clip that they had not ran it all season long. And so when you look at those things and the way that the 49ers played football this week in particular, holding a team to 10 points, running the football, stopping the run, that is sustainable to winning football, especially when it comes playoff time. That travels. It always does. And so when I look at this team and I look at Robert Saleh in particular, my gosh, man, it's not just that Warner was out. It's not just that Bosa was out. They lose their starting quarter, Renardo Green, very early on in that game. Tatum Bethune looks absolutely incredible. This team right now is humming at a pretty high level, considering all the injuries that they have had. And Robert Saleh's game plan was so masterful. He was rushing 4 and getting free rushers on a regular basis by simulating pressure, bringing people near the line of scrimmage, changing the look post-snap. Michael Penix was so lost that at the end of the first half, they had a chance to get a free 3 points. He throws the ball away. They have a 10-second runoff and the half ends. That's how flummoxed that they had Penix. And all the credit in the world goes to Robert Saleh for that. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal coach. And that's how I said I would judge him. It was not based off of results for me. It was how exotic was he going to be. You can't just sit back and cover 3 and cover 6 and do the things that you like to do when this team is as depleted as what it is. And things keep getting worse. Huff is now out this week. So you've got not only your best pass rusher out in Bosa, but now Huff, who'd been filling in very admirably and doing some phenomenal things, he's going to miss 2 weeks minimum. The injuries just keep piling on, and I have all the confidence in the world that somehow, some way, Robert Saleh is going to dial things up, and they're going to be able to keep things going on defense. So, yeah, what we're watching right now is phenomenal. It's hard to tell. I don't know exactly what this team is and what it's not. I could see a scenario where they go 9-8, but I could see them going 12-5 at this point. I really don't know what to expect. But one thing I do know is I'm thoroughly enjoying this season. I love this team. It's my favorite of the Kyle Shanahan era, and I just want to see this thing keep going. So
the defensive effort was beyond impressive. When you factor in the injuries, you would never have known that they had the injuries that they did in that one. And then offensively, they just did exactly what they had to do. They pounded the rock. They didn't really get money receivers involved, mainly because there aren't a ton to get involved right now. And even when you had George Kittle back, no utilization, but the decoy of him was certainly noticeable. You could tell it allowed Christian McCaffrey to open things up more. So I don't know how the Niners keep doing it, but they're doing it. And if they can find a way to get healthier down the stretch here, they're only going to get better. They're right there right now at the top of the NFC. And it is impressive the way that they're doing it with who they're doing it with. Let's go to Sunday morning across the pond. And man, oh man, you want to talk about impressive. I don't know if we were expecting this type of beatdown, but it was a beatdown we got. 35-7. The Rams beat the Jacksonville Jaguars to improve to 5-2 themselves. Matt Stafford, 5 touchdowns in this game, 3 in which came from Devontae Adams. Matt Stafford now leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 17. This was pure dominance. Jacksonville didn't get a point on the board until the fourth quarter. You go over there a day early, and I think you might have realized the rest of the league is going to follow suit, because this seems to be the strategy that's conducive to success, I guess, because this was an absolute tail kicking for a team that just beat the Kansas City Chiefs, right? A couple of weeks ago, you're looking at Jacksonville. Oh, maybe they got something here. Maybe they still do, but they certainly did did not Sunday morning, Jank. This was a beatdown. What did you make of what you saw from your Rams on Sunday?
No, that's exactly what it was. And, I think this is a credit to Sean McVay, who had these guys ready to go, just like he always does in London. Now 3-0, outscoring teams by, I think, like 70 points now. It's insane, and Matthew Stafford is insane. He now has the all-time record for touchdowns in a game in the international circuit, and you can see why. I'm glad everybody, that got up in time, because, my West Coasters out there had to get up at like 6 a.m. to watch this game. But everyone that got up in time was able to see, like, Matthew Stafford has been doing this for a while. And I think people are finally starting to see, like, there's no more like, oh yeah, he might be in the top 10. He's top 10. No. Like, he is one of the best quarterbacks. I believe him to be right now the best quarterback in the league. I think it's him. I think it's Dak. I think Mahomes is up there. Josh Allen. I really think he's no different than any of those other guys, but I think he's making better throws. And that's been the big thing for me, is that, people will just write it off because, they'll be like, well, Jake, you're just a homer. But I mean, there's stats to back this up. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the red zone numbers. He has 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's the only quarterback with 10 plus touchdowns in the red zone and 0 interceptions in the league. And he has a 7.5 EPA in the red zone with 109.3 passer rating. Yeah, he leads the league in big time throws, touchdowns. I mean, he's been sensational. 109.3 passer rating on the year. So I think when you look at the way he played without Puka Nacua, I think we can finally put to bed this ridiculous idea that Puka Nacua was the one making Stafford. Stafford's been doing this, and he did it again. And you can say what you will, but the same people that were saying Devontae Adams was washed, well, he caught 3 touchdowns. Now they're saying, well, he has Devontae Adams. It's like, you can't have it both ways. But it was raining. Really impressed with the way he played. Impressed with the offensive line, the way they played. The run game, I kind of had a feeling coming into this game they weren't going to really commit to run the football against that Jaguars defensive front. But I'm glad. I like the game plan. Stupid penalties. Jesse, alluded to, last episode. And of course, Brando also mentioned this is a boneheaded football team. They're very talented, but they're boneheaded. And we saw that. And there were some bad penalties that they probably shouldn't have been hit with. But that's what happens when you develop that kind of, reputation. Refs know that they have an easy thing at you. So, I think the Rams, people were looking at, I can't believe Stafford only had 180 something yards. I mean, I thought he threw for 300. Well, he didn't, because the Rams had such great field position throughout the game. The Rams defense held the Jaguars 2 of 6 on 4th downs. Just really an incredible job. The defense had 34 pressures, 7 sacks, really just picked up where Seattle left off, which is why I was confident they were going to win this game. I just didn't think they would win it like this. They really couldn't get anything going. They basically abandoned the run almost instantaneously with Travis Etienne. And when they did that, I felt like they really just did not have a chance. Trevor Lawrence, I thought, did a nice job not throwing away the football, but there were some dropped interceptions as well. So you look at this game, I think the big thing that you take away is that the Rams fixed the red zone woes. Will that continue? We'll see, but they fixed them 4 for 4. That was something I said last episode they're going to have to work on. That was a big reason why that Ravens game, which should have been probably 35-3, ends up being a 17-3 ball game. And then, in addition to that, obviously the pass rush is always going to be there, but everyone, including myself, has been very critical of their corners. And this cornerback room has looked actually pretty good the last few weeks, and not really getting enough talk. And Darius Williams against his former team had 4 pass breakups in this game, was outstanding. He was everywhere. I love the way Chris Shula was mixing things up, sending home, the Quentin Lake blitz is huge, takes him out of field goal range. You got the Nate Landman blitz that works to perfection. I thought Omar Spates did well coming back from injury, but I think this team is absolutely, in my mind, the best team in football. And I was waiting for them to put out what I believe they are, and I think they kind of showed you that in the first half of that Eagles game. This was the game I was talking about. And to go, off to London, and you just get there. You just arrive there. The Jaguars were there for a while. You were practicing in a baseball field, and to do what they did, I just don't think that you can really, undersell how important that was. And they go into the bye at 5-2. They went in the bye at 6-1 the year they won the Super Bowl, or rather, for the first 7 games. And get this, folks, because everyone acts like the Super Bowl team is way better than this team, and this team has all these flaws. And I'm talking Rams fans too. These Rams fans, I'm telling you guys, since they lost to the 49ers, a lot of fans don't want to buy into this team for whatever reason. But I'm telling you right now, they've scored more points than they did in 2021, and they have allowed 20 fewer points than they did in 2021. It's time for people to start realizing this defense is elite. It might be the best defense in football. They're second in scoring. And if the offense starts to catch up and they're going to get Nacua out of the bye, just watch out, because this team can beat anybody, and they can beat anybody in any type of way.
Rams are no doubt legit. And to your point there about the loss to the Niners, it feels like every team up until this point, whether you think they're great or not, has one of those losses on their resume that their fans can't believe that they lost. It just feels like every single team in the mix right now has that. That's why we've had a tough time figuring out who's really good and who isn't, and who's a Super Bowl contender and who isn't. It's been a wide open year. Every team's had that. But outside of that loss to the Niners, where I think everybody had the Rams penciled in, you look on the outside of that and look at the Niners and what they're doing. It kind of, it's an easier pill to swallow, especially when you factor in all the mistakes made in that game as well by LA. So another impressive win from the Rams. We talked about their offense, like you mentioned, in that Ravens game wasn't overly impressive, at least to the degree in which we thought it would be against that defense. They certainly bounced back in this one, 35-7, utter dominance from LA. All right, let's move to Sunday afternoon, where the Arizona Cardinals, yet again, they had a game in their grasp and wound up coming up just short. They lose to the Green Bay Packers 27-23. Jacoby Brissett, once again, was the leader in charge, and he had another great game. 25-36, 279, 2 touchdowns. They aired it out just like they did the week prior against the Colts. They had a 13-6 lead in this one going into half. They also took the lead into the fourth quarter, but Mike, inability to put points up in the fourth quarter. They allowed more points in the fourth than they allowed the 3 other quarters combined. So what did you make of yet another game where it feels like, man, Arizona, they might be the better team, and then all of a sudden clock hits 0, they're on the wrong end of it?
Yeah, there's something about that fourth quarter. I think there's a stat floated around that the Arizona Cardinals are outscored 76-33 in the fourth quarter alone. So it's just it's the inability to put away games just in general. But I mean, you're watching these games for the Cardinals, whether it's the Colts or the Titans, unfortunately, or the other games within the division. The only real, I guess I would say, game that we kind of like was dominated on, with the exception of the fourth quarter, was probably that Seahawks game. And if a couple penalties didn't go a specific way for us, it probably would have been a domination. But I mean, overall, the Arizona Cardinals they do not have the ability to close out games. Now, this game was pretty darn good, but like, it's just the lack of experience from the coaching staff that we end up having here. It's the little things, right, that end up catching up to you, where the Cardinals were leading 13-3 against this Packers team going into the halftime. And then soft coverage for the defense. We allowed a 61-yard bomb field goal, which was kind of the deciding factor as to this game, winning or not. So it's just, it's frustrating. Those little things that end up kind of biting the Arizona Cardinals in the butt. But I mean, overall, for what it's worth, am I proud that this offense looks better without Kyler or QB1? I'm proud that the Arizona Cardinals are standing toe-to-toe with these teams. But of course, I mean, what you really want is the victory of a W. Like that's what it all comes down to. I mean, everything else just seems like a moral victory at this point. And right now we're riding a 5-game losing streak, but the Cardinals are in every single game, with the exception of probably that Seahawks game, with the exception of the fourth quarter. But I mean, it's just a weird situation the Cardinals are finding themselves in right now. I think from all the losses that we had, I think we lost by a combination of like 13 points for like 5 games. It's absolutely unheard of. But it all comes down to, I feel like it's just the coaching staff. They're very, like, I don't know, like conservative. They don't really play to win. They play like not to, like, they don't have that it factor in it. They always kind of try to mess around with a couple different things. But like, I think it all comes down to just like the inexperience of these coaching staff. And I'm hearing them say, we're close. We're in freaking year 3. Like, what are we, like, I'm not trying to celebrate we're close. You should have had these things down already. And unfortunately, you're still dealing with the situations. But for what it's worth, yes, the defense has been struggling in terms of making stops when needed. But like, we went against arguably one of the best offenses, the week prior, and one of the best defenses, at least, stopping the run this week, and they did pretty darn well. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals defense held their third down efficiency to like Jordan Love only being like 3 for 10. And that's actually pretty impressive when you're looking at the offensive stats. Like, they're ranked number 1 with like 49.3% of converting those third downs. So like, it's so weird because you're seeing the Arizona Cardinals defense do enough, but also at the other side of the coin, they're not doing enough to win, because it all just kind of comes down to the end, the fourth quarter. It's a mess. It's an accumulation of a lot of different things. But like I said before, I'm proud that Jacoby Brissett is running this offense as efficiently as I've ever seen this offense run. not, yeah, I'm talking about like Carson Palmer days like that. This is how far back I'm going. So like he's doing very well for what it's worth, but he's a backup quarterback. Like that's what he is. Like, can he win you a game or two? He can, right? Like that's what he can do. But like he's a backup quarterback at the end of the day. So some people out there are trying to discredit that we're still 0-2. And it's true, we are still 0-2, but like you can't ignore the fact that this offense looks much more efficient with Jacoby Brissett than it does from Kyler. So if Kyler's willing to take a hit and he's willing to stay in the pocket, then this offense might look similar. And that his, ability to run out of the pocket and make playmaking, stuff, then I think it would work out. But Kyler said multiple times he's not willing to take a hit. So it's a really weird situation. It's a really weird team to kind of get a grasp of, but like it's done. Like it's over. Like there's no solace to the season. Like we're all looking forward to the NFL draft right now, potentially who's going to get fired. Like we're potentially seeing the end of the Jonathan Gannon regime and potentially your QB1 in Kyler Murray as well. Now, Jonathan Gannon did mention that QB1 as of right now, if he's healthy, is Kyler. So we're going to have to kind of wait and see. We have Monday Night Football on week 9. And then you got the trade deadline literally the day after. So we're going to see how the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to maneuver this. But I truly believe this coaching staff is fighting for their jobs. Like at this very moment, like it's just, how are you going to be able to sell this product? You can't. There's a reason why every single week when you have games in State Farm Stadium at home, you're outran by the opposing team, the 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, the Steelers, right? Any big of these big fan bases that are out there, they're going to outrun you guys. And then that's just the way that it is. And it's always going to be like that until the Arizona Cardinals can find some sort of consistency. And as of right now, they haven't been able to.
Muted, Z-Bot.
I'm sorry. Muted, just like the division's going to be this upcoming week, because I was just going to say, typically, you find a way to come back the next week, or at least try to. And yeah, the fork is there. The thing is, we can't officially stick the fork into the Cardinals for at least another 2 weeks. This entire division basically is on a bye this week. What the hell's up with that?
Dude, have you seen, by the way, like, I know
we're kicking too much ass.
I know people see 2-5, but I need to like remind everybody, because guys, I know the guys on my panel here know this. The Cardinals have lost 5 straight. All 5 have been down to the wire 1 possession games.
Yeah. If let's just, for real quick, if we can, I don't want to bash this, Mike, but I just thought I couldn't understand this call. I think it's the Philly shove is infecting some of these offenses' mindset. That's a yard and a half you need to get with Jacoby Brissett at the end of that game.
That was
and if
awful.
you convert that first down, you probably go down there. What is that call? I mean,
it's just awful.
I don't
they're not
know.
doing it the same way.
I don't think so much as an awful. I like the aggressiveness. I like the aggressiveness because too many times have we said that these guys aren't aggressive. So it's not that I have an issue with the fourth down. The call specifically for that, and it did seem like it's a lot more than a yard. That definitely is where it's a little kind of like a head scratching. They mentioned, Jonathan Gannon mentioned that they had that work plenty of times, but when you see the defensive line pinch, right, and you see that they're ready for a sneak, you would think that they would audible out of that freaking play, but they didn't, right? They didn't. So like that's the inexperience of this coaching staff, where if they call it, it's going to be regardless of or not. Like they should have been able to audible or see what the defensive line is doing and call the timeout and do something different. I don't mind that they went for it because, like I said, conservative nature usually bites them in the butt. So I like it, but the call. And on top of that, seeing what they were doing defensively, that's where I had the problem with it. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's this defense. It is what it is. They're blowing games. They're not able to stop. But like multiple people said, this team could either be like an 0-7 team. They can be a 5-2 team. Like it all came down to the wire. But like that's the difference between playoff teams and not playoff teams. Can you win those close games? And right now, the Arizona Cardinals aren't a good team.
Yeah. Well, I also. It kind of, when I was watching the 49er game, I thought the same thing. Don't you want to go down swinging with your best player? Like, for me, there's no way that I am not throwing to Trey McBride. I don't care that they know it. I am throwing the ball to Trey McBride. He's my best player. If I even have to have him take a direct snap like he's Tyler Warren, he is getting the football on the final play of the game, like the most important play. Bijan Robinson wasn't in there against the 49ers. I have no idea what they were thinking. They're like, yeah, and then they were trying to talk him up on the broadcast. Like, yeah, Algier, he's a battering up. Like Bijan Robinson is like, this Donnell Pumphrey. I mean, like, Bijan's huge too. So, like, I just feel like there are teams that typically they like get cute at the end of games. I felt like that's what the Cardinals were doing, and that's why I hated that call, because I understand you don't have Trey Benson, you don't have James Conner, so it's not like you have your running back that you trust, although, to be fair, Bam Knight hasn't played poorly. Yeah. But I feel like you got to go down swinging with your best. Super Bowl, 4th and 1, Rams run the end around, who but Cooper Kupp is the one that picks it up. You know, I just feel like, maybe I'm old school, but I feel like you got to swing for the fences with your best player. See, Z-Bot knows, because it's easy for them. They'll just do it with Josh Allen, because Josh Allen's the best player.
You'd think it would be easy. How about the 2 end-arounds in back-to-back weeks, where you give an end-around to Dawson Knox and an end-around to Elijah Moore on a 1-yard situation? I mean, you don't get me going again. We'll do it again.
But exactly, though, like from our perspective, it's easy. Like, it's Josh Allen.
You would think it would be, right?
Bijan Robinson I mean, right after Raheem Morris, like, yeah, I think he's the best player in the league, so I took him out of the final play of the game. Like, you know, like, this is what I mean, and it's not just the Cardinals, but I see it all over the NFL. I don't understand it, but yeah, Trey McBride 100% should have had the ball thrown to him or given to him in some capacity, because a big reason why they had a comfortable lead at one point. And then when that evaporated, it's like they stopped throwing to him. They stopped targeting him. It was frustrating. It really was.
Well, that's easy for coaches like Sean McVay, Shanahan, and now Mike McDonald. It's not easy for this coaching staff.
No,
it's not easy. It's not.
I just said that's the part where I like them going for it, but the 1.5 yards in particular, no team's trying to go get, unless they're Philly and they've got 2 downs to play with. No team's coming out in the Philly shove with a 1.5 yards of distance.
Especially if you're
too far to go. Yeah, it's like, it's weird that it's just a half extra yards makes it too much, but it does. Yeah. And to your point, Jake, who's the guy who's been holding down for your Cardinals the past couple of days? Jacoby Brissett. And then you've got Trey also as the hot hand. Put it in the guys that have brought you here at that point. I'm not talking about a Jacoby who's a little bit, let's just call it less than mobile, trying to, pull off an extra half yard on a Philly push. Like, weird. Just that was one where I was mad for the Cardinal fans in that one.
I think I actually hate the quarterback sneak, like, with a passion now. Like, but I also, to be fair, when the Rams run it, Stafford might be the worst quarterback sneak quarterback I've ever seen. Like, he should win. Like, right now, he's my MVP. I think he's amazing. I never want to see him run a quarterback sneak. That is his,
especially with his back. I don't want him taking those shots off that on his back.
And every time you just see him get folded, and you're like,
yeah.
Well, I think the counter argument to any argument that would make this division out to be anything but the best in the NFL would be the fact that you have 3 5-2 teams, and the one team at the bottom at 2-5 is a handful of plays away from being 5-2 themselves, if not better. So this division continues to be, I think, the class of the NFL right now. This is why you have 3 teams right in the thick of things at the top of the NFC, and we'll see how it continues to unfold. But even with the Cardinals having that 2-5 start, they've been competitive with everybody they've gone against. And this is why I think this division right now is easily the best in football. Let's go give a shout out to my friends over at RotoWire, by the way, who have you covered for all of your fantasy and prediction needs, including their new tool, which I love, that I've been using the last couple of weeks here. I didn't know about this until it was kind of pointed in my direction, and I've been using it since. It's their picks and props tool. And what it does is it essentially breaks down all the lines that are on the sites like Sleeper, of course, that we use, and kind of gives you an edge and helps you decide what you should put on your slip. It takes the data, it matches it up with the matchup for that week, and it kind of gives you insight onto which way you should lean. So, for instance, we have Bijan Robinson here expected to have more than 84.5 rushing yards against Miami, and I can tell you right now, that's a great pick. Miami has one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. They let Rico Dowdle run for 10,000 yards on him the other day, so you can already tell this thing knows what it's talking about. Jordan Love, less than 250.5 passing yards is where they're leaning on this, and it has a bunch of different options for you to take a peek at. That's just one of the many tools over on RotoWire with a premium subscription. Make sure to take advantage of them. Link in the description below. Click that, sign up, use the promo code RTS. That'll get you 15% off a premium subscription. Well, this is typically where we would preview this upcoming week's games. We have one game to preview. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 divisional teams all on the bye at the exact same time, but that's the way the cards unfolded.
Ever, we talked about this preseason. It's like the Rams don't see Seattle until after the bye twice, and they don't see Arizona until like way late.
Yeah, super late.
I think it's just going with the theme of this being a very weird year. I mean, it has been an incredibly weird year up until this point. I think you can add this into the fold that 3 teams in the division are all on the bye. The lone team not on the bye is the San Francisco 49ers, who will look to go to 6-2 this upcoming week. They're taking on the Houston Texans, who just, of course, lost to Brandon's Seahawks on Monday Night Football. They could not get anything going offensively until really late, when it was far too late for them to get back into the football game. So let's take a peek at this one and talk about it. Niners on the road, taking on a Texans team that's a surprising 2-4. I think we expected more out of them through the first 7 weeks here. Meanwhile, San Francisco looking to get to 6-2, and you got to think that they're primed to do so here. So, Jake, can that defense of the Niners, which is kind of makeshift right now, can they find a way to take a page out of Seattle's playbook, do what they did on Monday night, get yet another win here?
Yeah, I absolutely think so. I thought Tatum Bethune was amazing. I'm very glad, because I lost Fred Warner in my Dynasty League, and I had to pick up Bethune, and he had a great game. But you look at this defense, and I love what George Kittle said after the game. He said, Robert Saleh was the most important free agency acquisition, and they were right. He has just added so much life to this defense. Shout out Woody Johnson for being a total Nimrod. So, when you look at this 49ers team, I mean, Christian McCaffrey got going on the ground, and look, I get, like, the Texans have a really good defense. They're going to take away the football, all of that. But CJ Stroud is behind maybe the worst offensive line I've ever seen. It's so bad. And they created it. Like they made it bad. I've never seen anything like what the Texans offensive line is. It's horrendous. And I don't mean to throw Arion Terrestri under the bus. I know he's a rookie thrown into the fire, but guys, it's pathetic. It really is. CJ Stroud now, people think he's a bust. People think that he is garbage and he's washed. I'm watching Stroud run for his life every play. Like, Stroud hasn't even been pressured he's been pressured 30 fewer times than Stafford, because he can just simply, he gets rid of the ball so fast because he knows he is about to get killed. And if he knows he's not going to have any time, he's already, just running to the sidelines trying to make a play. The offensive line is pathetic. It really is. And the 49ers are going to be able to generate pressure. Nico Collins is probably not going to play in this game with a concussion, because it was a Monday night game. Keep that in mind. So it's an extra day. I don't think he plays. The good news is Jalen Noel is starting to see some success for them, and Jaden Higgins and, the young guys. But this team just isn't what we expected, and it's a shame because the defense is number one scoring. And I just feel like the 49ers are going to be able to hang around long enough where even if it's the final drive or whatever, they don't even have to be on the offensive end. I think they can score on defense because that's how bad the offensive line is. So give me the 49ers. I'm going to say 20-12 in an ugly game.
Jake's got the Niners moving to 6-2. How about you, Mike? Who takes it, Houston or San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, just I guess you'll shadow what Jake said. That offensive line is horrendous for CJ Stroud, and it sucks too because a lot of people only see the results and they're thinking that it's all him. And I've said he's regressed too, but if you really look at it, the offensive line is just horrendous over there. The defense is really good. Like, they're the ones keeping them in games, and they've forced a couple different things with Seattle, but the offense just can't hang, man. Like, if you drop 20-25 points, they're not going to be able to match it just because of the lack of the talent. And then on top of that, they don't know what hell's happening with Joe Mixon. Bless their hearts with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, but it's not the same. Like, that offense is just not functioning. They don't have the time to do anything. So I do have the San Francisco 49ers winning this game as well, just because they can beat you with a resurgence of McCaffrey. Now we're like, what the heck? McCaffrey's doing it all again. It's so crazy to see it, but I got this game as the San Francisco 49ers winning. I actually got 33-17. Yeah.
Blowout coming.
They know DeMeco
Niners.
Ryans too, by the way. So that's
Brandon, what are you thinking on this one? You just took on Houston, and Jake made a great point. That offensive line is abysmal, but the Seahawks certainly took advantage of it. Can the Niners find a way to do something similar?
Well, they're going to be they keep getting down one edge rusher after another, it seems, or one defensive lineman after, it seems, one week or another. But I've called them the zombie team that you just can't put down, and nobody's found a way to put a headshot in that skull. So they're just going to keep on and they'll make it happen this week, I think, 27-13. A couple of things here is, first off, you got to go with Mac Jones here. I don't care where Brock's at on the injury front. To me, this offense does look just a bit better with him. It's just got a better chemistry rolling. You can't let the money factor into this. We're seeing with the Cardinals, this is already going to come into the decision with them when it comes to Kyler coming back off the injury. I think 80% of the Cardinal town would probably say, probably just ride with Brissett here. This looks a little bit better with him, but still they're going to let the monetary decision drive that. I hope the Niners don't with how Mac has played. As well, Christian McCaffrey, folks, what is he on pace for, Jesse? 521 touches this year. That guy is not lasting through the year, but will not hamper them this week. They're going to lean on him like nobody's business, and they will get a comfortable win because this Texans team is right now in miserable shape. Jake made a great point about Nico Collins with the concussion protocol, because you got to go through the protocol, and usually you need that full week just to get there to the next game. And you could see early in that game that he was trying to work Nico Collins 24/7. He didn't trust the rest of the receivers. He was only throwing to Jalen Noel once Collins went out of the game, who had like 10 targets in this game before that point. So everything's a little light right now. The running backs suck. The receivers are really young and inexperienced. And yeah, the defense is good, but Max has shown that he's been able to execute this offense on time well, and that he's got enough there, especially getting back Kittle into the fold.
Yeah, Stroud took some shots in that game too, including one on the sideline where he banged his head. I mean, you got to look out for him too behind that offensive line, running for his life, and they have no run game to speak of, so it's simply all passing. It's not good right now in Houston. Will it be even worse this upcoming weekend against your Niners, Jesse?
Listen, this is weakness versus weakness. Right now, the 49ers don't have pass rushers the way that they would like to. This offensive line for Houston is absolutely atrocious. The play calling for Houston is absolutely atrocious. Ultimately, this is really fun too, because DeMeco Ryans is an underling of Robert Saleh, and also he was the defensive coordinator here once Robert Saleh left. So they're going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be a good game. I don't like that it's a 1 p.m. Eastern time slot. That's usually tough for West Coast teams. But I do think the 49ers get it done. I think that Mac Jones proved against another very good defense in the Rams that he can dice you up if you don't think that he can. He absolutely can hold you accountable. So let's have some fun with this score here. I think the 49ers win 19-16. What do you think of that?
Ooh. 19-16. I'm not sure if that's scoregami, but the scoregami bot, I don't know if you guys know, it's broken. The scoregami bot.
It's gone.
It's been a big talk of the season. Something's really messed up with it, which is unfortunate because I love that account. But maybe the Niners break it this upcoming week yet again, getting an odd victory, or odd digit victory, I guess, 19-16. Win's a win, man. If the Niners improve to 6-2, look out as they continue to rattle off win after win here. All right, well, that does it for the previews and predictions. Wow. That was a long segment, fellas. I don't know how the hell we got through that. 3 teams on the bye this upcoming week, getting some much needed rest. I know the Rams for sure, and the Brandon Seahawks trying to heal up, get even healthier for this post-bye stretch that we're already at the halfway point of the season here. So it's going to be necessary to heal up and get after the second half here, where it's anybody's ball game, really. I mean, it is just completely lockstep, not only in this division, but in the NFC in general. So can't wait for the second half of the season here, because I really have no idea. I'm really in both conferences, by the way. I just have no idea who's who, what's what. I think that's why the NFL is king. All right, 42 minutes in, and we have plenty of ground to cover, fellas. 30 super chats. It's the best time of the show. Before we get to the best time of the show, though, let's give a shout out to the best real money wagering and fantasy platform out there, and that's our friends over at Sleeper. Now, I crafted up our own little sleeper slip here so that we can just get right into it. This is what I came up with, fellas. Let me know if I'm nuts. I got my Jordan Love free pick in there. I threw that in. Then we got Thursday Night Football coming up here in a couple of days. I got Ladd McConkey, more than 55.5 receiving yards. Justin Jefferson, more than 82.5 receiving yards. I was kind of stunned to see that the Vikings allowed Jalen Hurts, rather, to do what he did the other day. He had his best passing game all year by a mile. He went nuts. So I'm thinking McConkey might be able to put up some numbers in this one. And then Jefferson, I don't know who's throwing him the football. It seems like Wentz is going to be their guy for the foreseeable future. That is the longest lasting ankle injury I've ever seen that J.J. McCarthy is currently nursing right now. But this is what I have. If you want to tell this one or create your own, of course, link in the description below. Click that, sign up for Sleeper, and you'll get a 100% match up to $100 when you use the promo code RTS. In addition to that, you don't even need to make a deposit to check out Sleeper. Once you download the app and create an account, you will instantly get a free $20 wager to use. So go check them out. Link in the description below. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. All right, Brandon, cue me in here. We got 30 super chats at the 45-minute mark. It's time for the best part of the show, super chat time. And the endless barrage of love you guys show us, it shows no bounds right now. 30 plus super chats and counting. Let's kick things off with Boo, who's coming in saying, at Jake, you blew your load a little quick with that Jays World Series was against the Yanks comment. I think I would argue, what do you think the percentage of the country rooting for the Jays is? 85, 90%?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care. I will not be watching.
Go Blue Jays.
It just felt like it was a death sentence for whoever won that series. That's kind of how it still feels. I think right now, LA is minus 250 to win it.
LA's winning it. They'll win it in 5.
When you look at the money they've dropped on that team versus it's hard to see anybody having a chance up against that if you're not even coming close to matching those dollars.
Yeah, you're spending that money, you should win it. It's the way it should go, right? And it's crazy that it's still a thing. We'll see if they win it with ease and then things end up changing drastically next year if the players end up holding out. I know that's a big topic right now. Cheeto coming in. My condolences, Mike. I thought you all might actually pull it off. I know. Cardinals with a lone wolf. They had it too. I mean, it's not like they didn't. They were right there.
I mean, it's all the games.
We all rooting for the Cardinals?
Oh, yeah.
I was rooting for them. I don't know.
Well, if Green Bay would have lost, right, they drop out of the top spot there.
Exactly. It wasn't because you wanted the Cardinals to
Brissett.
win. It's because you wanted the Green Bay Packers to lose. So
that's not the point, Mike.
I don't care about the Packers.
It's the spirit was towards the Cardinals. Let's not dice through details here. Let's not get caught up in.
Come on now. I like Brissett. I like Brissett and I like Mike.
But regardless of a win, Brissett,
I like playoff positioning.
Exactly.
Guys, I'm not worried about the Packers. I told you, I don't think they're good. I think it all work itself out. I think if they were in the NFC West, they would have 2 wins. That's what I think.
You were in a unique position on Sunday night, by the way, Jake. No matter who lost or won, you were winning, right? Niners win, not good for the division, good for your draft positioning. Right?
Oh no! I was rooting for the Falcons, and it just makes me dislike them more. This hate watch will be easy, even though this upcoming week, as you previously mentioned, they're going to be playing the freaking Dolphins. So I will not be watching that game. I'm also going to be at a wedding, so I couldn't watch the game if I tried.
Jake, even if you weren't at a wedding and you had nothing to do in the whole world, I don't know if you'd be tuning into that one. I don't know who the hell will be tuning into that one. I don't even think Dolphins fans will be tuning into that one, to be honest with you.
So is, what's his face? Ewers? Is he start?
Dude, we all called the collapse.
Horrific.
But I don't think we saw it happening this terribly.
I can't believe we're to the point where Quinn Ewers is getting actual NFL snaps on an actual NFL field that counts. It blows my mind.
I didn't like his tape, like in college, when everybody looks good in college or somewhat good.
Yeah, but unfortunately, right now, every time Tua taps the helmet, it's a pick. I mean, that's just the way it's going right now.
Tua taps the helmet. He sees something.
He sees something.
You guys like that? As soon as
that was great.
I was just like, you know what? There's no way that I just watched that.
So
like, oh, the Dolphins. Let's see what's going. Oh.
I've never missed a Tua pick, and it's just because every time it happens, somebody just knows to text me about it every single time. So I've never missed one. I don't think I've ever missed one. But I don't know if you saw McDaniel after he threw the last pick and he was doing the motion like you would see on like the tarmac where it's like, come on through. He's like, get off, just get off. And then I think he was asked what the expectations were this upcoming week. And I think his response was to not throw 10 picks, I think was McDaniel's response. So that is just an implosion of epic proportions over there. The AFC East is hilarious because then on top of that, Woody Johnson basically blamed the entire organizational issues on Justin Fields, who they gave $30 million guaranteed to.
Yep. Who, by the way, had 4 wins in this point of the season last year with the Steelers, but God forbid that dude takes any accountability whatsoever.
Right, like you're blaming it all on the guy that you saw the tape of, that you were well aware was not going to come and save this franchise. You give him $30 million guaranteed, now it's all his fault.
That's Woody Johnson for you. He is the worst owner in professional sports.
Incredible.
Has there ever been an owner that's gotten into joke phase who's been able to reverse his dumbassery back to actually like having the epiphany moment? I'm an idiot. I need to stop doing my dumb shit. You know?
Oh, no,
I don't think it's ever happened. Once you slide here, you're into the dark side forever. Seems like
with all
Jerry
that
Jones.
money, Brando. No, the ego's flowing. Because at that point, it's just like, well, I'm rich, so I'm gonna be fine either way.
Happened
And
to Al
that's kind of
Davis.
Yeah, you can't
Al
be
Davis had that
fired.
going?
You can't be fired. You know.
Well, that's my whole point of this. It
So-
relies on the guy having to. No one's above him, so it relies on them having to have the wherewithal to be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm driving the force of failure here. It's not that I can pin it on somebody else. I'm actually like leading this train. I need to maybe step back, but they never. I can't think of one example of an owner who's gotten down this track who's actually done it.
It just makes me so pissed because Jets fans are so loyal and they're great people and they deserve it. But he's awful. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not saying Saleh was going to be like a Super Bowl winning head coach, but when they fired Saleh that early in the season, you just knew. You knew it. You're like, Woody Johnson has no patience. Ironically, now all of a sudden he's patient about Aaron Glenn, who's probably the worst head coach they've had in quite some time. He is not an NFL head coach.
I like
He's
how the
just
super
not.
chat started about me, and then you guys were all talking about the AFC East. Come on.
I think it's a roundabout way of saying, Mike, just when you think you got it bad, it could be a whole hell of a lot worse, because I think those two organizations.
Fan.
Exactly. You could be living in a personal hell.
Or
Mike.
Woody Johnson could own your team.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got the Bidwell. It's not much better.
Jason's coming.
Yeah, it's like a
Tit for tat. How long are you going to make Mike talk about this year's team when clearly it's time to look at that top 5 pick for next year's team? Jesse, if you wouldn't mind showing me that fork I saw a little bit earlier. Oh, man.
Yeah,
He just
funny.
has a fork lying
We're
around.
cooked.
There it is. Jason's already calling for the fork and the top 5 pick. Megan, great to see you as always. Megan saying, happy Back to the Future Day to all. I'll be heading back to Sydney for the final show of the run. And I remembered you said you wanted to come to Sydney to see it. Are you in or you out, Z-Bod? Wow. Wow.
Calling you all the way out.
Telling you what, if that flight wasn't 36 hours, Megan, I think I'd have to come join you. Sounds like a blast, because clearly it was good enough to go see it twice. Right? You already saw it once. Seeing it again, that's amazing. Have a blast, Megan. And I know you loved the first one, so I got to imagine you're going to love the second one just as much. Fire Poet's coming in. Just want to say congrats to Seahawks for hanging again with the big boys, Rams and 49ers. This one is for Brando. I'm a Rams fan, so he's liking what he's seeing from the Seahawks. He's impressed, Brandon.
We're coming together, man. We're coming together. You know, I was earlier in the year. I was a little worried about a couple of these losses, but I think it's starting to. I can see the plan, and you can see still again. I think it's this case with all 3 of the teams at the top here, Niners and Rams included. Niners need to get healthy on this front, but I don't think anybody's played their best football yet. And you can see that there's still the best version yet to potentially come in all cases.
No doubt about it.
Fun to watch. Just use K9 more. Like, that's my only thing. Like, I just don't know why they don't.
It's you like this game. You're not going to the edges with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. You're going A and B gap. That's better for Charbonnet on the power stuff at that point when you're inside. He's better to get to the edges, but you just didn't trust your ability to run to the edges because you've sucked at it all year.
Like we talked about last week, though, they really are fun to watch. Like, they just have a lot of different aspects of their football team. Plus, they're really physical too. There was a couple hits last night where they were just going at it, man. You could hear the popping on the broadcast. Just a fun team to watch, and they're playing.
Thomas, that dude can ball. Like you mentioned him earlier, Brandon. I was impressed. Him and Tatum Bethune.
War Chief.
This week.
All that hate from everybody at the beginning. How's those eggs taste now, boys? We're slowly dipping them in the mouth of the NFC West. Go Hawks.
Hey, I had you guys winning 11 games. In what way does that translate to hate?
Dipping the eggs.
I'll take it. I'll take the eggs.
Very well.
We still gotta prove it up against these big boys down the road. We got the Rams twice. We got the Niners at the end of the season. I think that a big part of us taking that step forward, as I said, against that Niner team the first opening week of the season is we get a lot of stuff done. We can still stack a lot of wins, but it's going to come down, it seems like, with where this division is going to how we play them. And lately, last couple of years, we still have not quite found the answers there for either of those two teams.
Man, oh man, the second half of the season is going to be something else. Mark Sanchez, whose name feels like it's ringing a different tune these days, saying, I predicted that every team would go to the playoffs from this division in the summer. The Cardinals are turning me into a liar.
Yeah, 2026.
Hey, Mike, if they start Jacoby Brissett game 1 of this year, are the Cardinals a playoff team?
What? I'm sorry, one more time.
If you started Jacoby Brissett the very first game of the year and not Kyler Murray, are you a playoff team?
I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, Kyler is not all Kyler. I want to be very good. It's not all Kyler Murray.
I don't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
I know. It's probably because we got a Kyler Murray stan in this chat somewhere. And that's the reason why every time we talk about him, you have to kind of disclaimer that because you have all this chat. Mike's a hater. That's why I have to say it every time. But I think we would on the Titans game. I think we probably would have won a division game. At least one of them. I'm not gonna say both, but like it's hard for me to not say like the Cardinals were not able to score more than 21 points in the first 5 games, and now all of a sudden we score more than 20 points each game and throwing the ball up and down the field against the Green Bay Packers and then the Colts as well. So it's a conversation to have, but it's a lot of, like JG says, hypotheticals, right? We don't know hypotheticals. I don't know.
Interesting question. I guess at the end of the day too, Mike, even with Brissett, still 2 losses by this close, right? I mean, there was still 2 losses. That's the tough thing. So it's a weird way to look at it because you don't really know what way it would have gone, but they've been so close so frequently here to start the year. HHG coming in. Imagine losing to B Duval soundboard, please. Rams and Hawks wouldn't know. Oh, yes. Duval.
Imagine losing to the team that lost to the Jags. Just throwing that out there, Seahawks and Rams.
I can't wait. You know how every year they come out with that chart where it's like a circle and it says this team beat this team but lost to this team and it goes in a circle. Like I feel like we already could complete that at this point of the year.
So the Browns are the best team in the league.
I think they might be. Them and the Bengals somehow.
I mean, dude, the Bengals. That's an interesting thing. Was that just they beat a team that they have a lot of familiarity with, or is that a team that can kind of sneak by and then Joe Burrow comes back? Because I don't know if you guys saw. I mean, what was the record? It was like 25-13. The NFC is versus the AFC this year. The AFC is going to be wide open. The NFC is not going to be wide open. It's literally like it. The whole point I mean by that is obviously it sounds like it would. There's a lot of winning, but there's going to be like 10-win teams that don't make the playoffs in the NFC. Whereas the AFC, I think we could see like a 9-win team sneak in.
Yeah, the back half of the AFC is abysmally bad, really bad. And then you got teams at the top. Like right now, I just don't think my Bills are very good right now. The Broncos are not a good football team. Their defense is extraordinary, but that's a team that should have lost to the Giants handily, and I still cannot believe that game went the way it did. They easily could. If the Jets, in Woody Johnson's words, could complete a pass, they would have beaten them in that game. So it is very wide open. Then you look at the NFC and it's wide open, but for all the different reasons. You got a ton of great teams and you just don't know who's going to end up cannibalizing who. But just a crazy year up until this point.
I know.
Rodgers coming in. No Puka, no problem for 9. I mean, how about Devontae Adams stepping up? Not a ton of yards, but 3 TDs. You're
not going to give him a Sui on that? Let's get your Sui, Z-Bot.
I didn't say it, Brandon, because I had no idea what the hell that was. Thought it might have been a typo.
Sui!
What is it?
I don't even know. I don't know what it is, but I like these celebrations.
I've heard it before.
Is that similar to this?
Yeah, I think it's a vague reference, maybe Deliverance. If anyone see that movie.
Oh, okay.
No clue.
That's the
don't tear your ACL.
That one, right?
Some of the chat will know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's you guys are missing on this one reference. It's a gnarly one there by Roger. That's a deep cut. But okay.
Well, it was the celebration that they were doing. It's like a soccer celebration. Cristiano Ronaldo does it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
maybe it's not that then.
Yeah, it became a global phenomenon. I love Google. It became a global phenomenon because Cristiano Ronaldo did it. And
I just Googled it too. What are the odds? That's funny.
Yeah. So now a bunch of fans do it. And yeah, I mean, Mumfield did it after his first career touchdown to start the game. And then I think Devontae Adams did it twice. And then he did it going into the tunnel. And the whole London crowd went nuts for it. I don't know. All I was worried about is like the celebration looks badass. But it's like, all I'm thinking is, man, just don't tear your Achilles or your ACL doing something like that. I'll just, because that's all I could think of.
Like Rodgers getting tackled by his own offensive lineman coming off the.
But CD Woods, though, JSN had the best celebration. You're damn right. Shout out to JSN for taking the flag up. Just who cares? I want to see more dunking on the goalpost.
Yeah. Freddie K. Baseman coming in, fellas. Didn't have a chance to say thank you for checking out my content last show. Content last show. No Puka, no problem. Go Rams, go Dodgers. The pleasure was ours, Freddie. Like I said, knocked that Pink Floyd cover out of the park. Loved it. Plus, that looked like a fun place to be. You guys were out on the street just jamming out. I'm like, man, I got to be hanging out with Freddie more often. That looked like a good time, but appreciate you as always, Freddie. Jordan's coming in. Falcons on the road might be the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, if only they were playing in Buffalo last week, Jordan. Wouldn't that have been nice? That would have been nice. Wouldn't that have been nice, Jordan? Jason's coming in. Z-Bot, not having any stake in any NFC West team. Who do you have winning the NFC West division right now? Wow.
Ooh, Z-Bot's on the hot seat.
I got the Seattle Seahawks winning the NFC West.
Baby, let's go. Let's go. Seeing it true.
I think I just think that right now, I wasn't expecting them to be this complete. I don't think that they've completely unleashed that run game yet. And I think if they can at some point, they get even more lethal because Sam Darnold has been playing exceptionally well. And I think that that's a major upgrade from what they had last year. And then this defense, I think, is a problem. I think this defense is a problem. And I know last night's sample size might not be the greatest because of how bad that offensive line is for Houston, but you still got to have the personnel to be able to take advantage of it. And I mean, they dictated that football game and dominated. And I don't know, it just feels like there's something kind of on the uprise going on there that I'm digging. They're a fun team to watch. But I would go with Seattle right now. I want to say LA, but I don't know quite yet if I've seen them play to the caliber in which I know. Sunday's a different story. I mean, I think that they dominated on Sunday. That goes without saying. But I feel like I've seen a couple of down spots from them where it has me questioning if they're going to take it. And I feel like it's going to come down to the end. I really, really do. I feel like we might have that Niners Seahawks game decided. And it might not be those two teams, but I feel like whoever wins or loses that game might be knocked out. Another team jumps in.
Please,
but I feel like you can flip a coin right now.
Let that game decide it so we can see the real Sam Darnold. By the way, the Suey thing.
Please let it happen.
Phone a friend. Got a text. It's a pig call, actually, is what Suey is. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that a college team that does that?
Well, Arkansas does.
Arkansas, yeah.
But it's an actual like pig call, like a farmer thing, and it's SO.
Ask your friend if he knows the reference of that pig call to the movie Deliverance.
Oh, this is different than
I don't know.
Suey then, right? This is Siu.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know
derived
is
from the
that's what
Spanish
Suey
word
is.
"si," meaning yes.
Yeah, so
it's
we're
just
reading
like,
the same thing.
Yes. Like,
Yeah, it's more like a let's go type of situation. But
Yeah, okay.
that might be different than.
Back to my Seahawks pick, by the way. I got to tell you, 95% of it is based on pure vibes. I don't know why. It's just vibes. There's something about the Darnold. It's like Baker. I find myself rooting for Baker every single week. And this is coming from somebody who I could not stand the way he was in Cleveland. And now I find myself rooting for him every single week. Darnold, I never hated. I always felt bad for Darnold, but you could never root for him because it was kind of like, well, what am I rooting for here? What is it even amounting to? And now it feels like I'm rooting for one of the better comeback stories amongst many that we're watching unfold right now. And I just feel like that's added so much depth to the league here this year. Darnold, Baker, Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. I mean, dude, this season really, when you get down to it, has been nuts. And those are just a couple of storylines on the outside, right? I mean, it's just been a crazy, crazy year. Yeah. Dylan coming in. I said it last week and I'll say it again. The Seahawks are the best team in the division. Wow, somebody knows ball, right? Just like Bot here, Dylan, right? Have the best defense and wide receiver in the league. Go Hawks. Brandon, did you think you'd be sitting here getting this type of love going into week 8?
I just didn't know. I did predict the start of the year 11 wins, but I didn't know how the team would form to that place because there was a lot of work to be done to kind of get there. With the new coordinator, new quarterback, you're putting all of this together. It's going to take some time to kind of figure it out, but it is coming together. It's coming together smoothly. You can see the vision and how it will all work. three phases of the football that can all be helpful. I mean, we've had some of the teams in this division that have had some special teams woes that might come back to bite them down the road. Not as much what you got to worry with my team because they're top notch when it comes to special teams on top of everything else. So you could see the plan and vision. You just didn't know if it was fully going to come to form. I think it's a little bit like Jesse's talked about in recent years. Talent's been there and you've been expecting to kind of come into that fruition, but it hasn't quite really arrived yet. And you've been saying, okay, well, is it going to arrive? And you know, it's there. This year starts to feel like it's finally now coming onto the scene full.
I still can't get over JSN's ascension too, especially with DK Metcalf's departure. It just feels like he's guaranteed every week to go off, and it's been nuts.
Told you guys, superstar.
Well, there's no baseline too to a guy going from slot to outside like this. He's playing 80% of his snaps to the outside. He did all of his college stuff at the slot. He did his slot stuff in the pros that started out. He's doing it all out there now. It's a wild transition to see with him.
Brandon, I'm glad you brought this up. This is why I don't put too much stock into that. Because people are saying the same thing about Ibuka, and I'm like, I believe that he can play on the outside as well. I believe I believe that these guys, especially at Ohio State, and what they do and what they teach there, because I think, Brian Hartline is probably the best in the business at this point. I mean, the results kind of speak for itself. Olave, obviously Marvin Harrison, but what I'm kind of getting at here is I think they have a lot of inside-outside guys. When they recruit these guys, their ability to play inside-outside. And I kind of always felt like JSN could be more than just a slot guy. And so that was why I was like, no, we're looking at somebody here. I saw it in the Rams game last year, and it really kind of spoke to me. I'm like, this dude isn't just like he's going to be really good. He's going to be like top 5 in the league good. And so that game, I think, really spoke to me in that one.
Well, you might be onto something with Ohio State receivers, but the baseline of it happening across college football to the pros is nil aside from these two guys getting it done. The data on this is so succinct on receivers that operate exclusively from the slot, from the college. They do not go to the outside in the pros. And so you might be right on, not to take the legs off from your argument, but just that it makes what they're doing so also unusual to kind of predict as well. And their ability to do it. I do think with Emeka, he's going to be more of a guy that transitions inside. He's played outside a bit here to help on the Mike Evans stuff, but he's the Godwin replacement long-term there. They're going to be able to get out from under that contract after this year, and he probably slides right into that slot almost full-time at that point. Not that he can't do some stuff out there, but I don't think he's living 80% of his time on the outside, being Emeka.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
We have a new member, by the way, a new member of the NFC West. Ramon has joined the squad. Big shout out to Ramon. Glad to have you on board. Lethal coming in saying LA fans are going to cry over the Rams season this year when they find out they can't just buy championships in the NFL. Go Hawks.
Buy championships? I'm not. Nope. Don't get me down that rabbit hole. Good Lord.
It's a Dodger reference.
No, yeah. I don't want to hear it. I heard it during the Super Bowl season, picking up Odell after the Browns cut him. And trading for Von Miller, that's not buying.
Well, I think they're just used to, the Dodgers ownership just shelling out.
I'm not a Dodger fan.
No,
I like
God,
the Yankees. They don't even spend anymore.
Catalyst. When the Jaguars got past the Rams 30, they were so anemic on offense, pitiful fourth down calls. Rams had them all figured out. Definitely. That game was over from the jump. It looked like, for a team that plays over there that often, they look like they had never been over there before in their life. And the Rams look like exactly who you thought they would be. Kind of what I expected the week prior is exactly what they were on Sunday over the pond. Anderson coming in. Jet lag, Brandon? Go Rams.
Hey, I was wrong on that one. To the point of Anderson here, they've been dominating, like Jake said earlier on this. Every time they've gone over there, they have flatlined every team they've played. So McVay's got the secret sauce going overseas, and I can't deny it.
Something to be said about practicing at Camden Yards, going a day early. Could be the secret sauce that we see people unlocking moving forward here. Daryl, the Seahawks' biggest weakness is the Seahawks.
Kinda, yeah. It's self-inflicted stuff sometimes is what, is the problem. So it was a little bit that way yesterday, and you had the game comfortable and you kind of let them stay around. Same thing with the Jags the prior week a little bit. So not as bad with the turnovers, but just in other ways. So, but again, speaks to what maybe the potential of them could be if they can clean up some of this self-inflicted stuff that's easily controllable.
We have a banger coming in from Simo Jen. If I could get a little soundboard love here. $50 banger. And they're saying I like how half the chat is Seahawks, giving the rest of the conference views. How about the rest of the conference show up? Wow, the 12's dominating in the chat.
Wow.
Now, if you could only dominate your own home stadium.
Ooh.
We
Don't talk about my future division winner
last
like
night.
that, Jesse.
It's okay. I know your team's all injured. You know, despite the record, you're going nowhere, so you're a little salty. It's okay. I get that.
Oh, man. Mark's coming in saying, I've been busy, but I always have time for the table. That you have. You certainly have been busy. Appreciate having you in the chat, Mark, as always.
That mugshot.
Yeah, was that what that was?
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So good.
I don't know what's going on there.
Dale.
Add that into the fold of weirdness that has
So
been
I
the
won't hear him
2025
on
season.
Fox Sports calling my games anytime soon.
I don't think so. I don't know. It's kind of like that's been brushed under the rug. I haven't heard about it since it happened.
I kind of miss him, dude. Like I like listening to Mark Sanchez. I don't know why.
He does a good job.
He does a good job, man.
I got PTSD flashbacks watching Kittle make incredible blocks for CMC, who was just gashing the Falcons on the ground on Sunday night. Yeah, that was vintage CMC the other night. That was fun to watch.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Kittle makes that big of a difference. Best tight end in the league for a reason. He doesn't even have to get a ball thrown his way, and he still dominated that game. It's absolutely incredible.
Love how he
You
apologized.
guys find your left guard there, Colby? You guys got a find there in him, that 7th rounder?
No, he's buns.
I mean, he did a really nice job of picking Christian McCaffrey up and pouring him into the end zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Ski Nation. Shout out to Seattle dominating this chat tonight. Get the Niners wheelchairs for week 18. Love you though, Jesse.
Hey man, we'll roll right in there and come away with a W. So here we go.
Man, we're already looking forward to week 17 or week 18, man. It's crazy. Anderson's coming in. Half the team was hurt in that Super Bowl. 3rd string wide receivers, a 3rd string tight end, and Cam Akers, who was not a good back, according to Anderson, catching balls. Rams earned that ring, accomplished something this decade. Who's this being fired at?
Oh, the buying. I agree completely. I actually was just.
I don't think he was referencing that they bought
No.
the Rams have bought the championship. That was just an explicit reference to the Dodgers, not the Rams themselves.
No,
you can't buy a championship in football.
I get what you're saying, but that's all I've ever heard since it was the Rams bought the championship, and
no, they just have them picks. There's a difference.
Well, it wasn't even that. I mean, Bryson Hopkins, who caught 3 passes the whole year. They had to go to him on the final drive. I mean, they didn't have anybody at tight end. They took Eric Weddle out of retirement, 2 years out of retirement.
Funny, nobody's saying this about the Eagles with them burying all that void money, huh?
Oh yeah, you go look at the money down the road.
The Rams have success. Now we got to throw shade, but the Eagles, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Blank
all the
check.
void money's crazy.
Yeah.
The best YouTube username on the planet. It is Brown Sausage saying it's a bye week, but I still have to say go Hawks. This division is nuts. You guys are awesome. Not as awesome as you are, Bronze. Great to see you as always.
Bronze.
Keon coming in. What up, B? Stroud's knee was down. Happened right in front of me. 5-2, baby. Let's go Hawks. Is he referring to that safety? Because I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys can illustrate that one for me. It looked like a safety to me, but then I also understand maybe it's that whole forward progress thing where when he's hit, it's at the half-yard line. So technically it's supposed to be at the half-yard line, but he lands fully into the deal.
I don't even know.
The explanation was such a word salad, it made no sense. I was just like, okay, they're just going to go with that, I guess. To me, it was a blatant safety.
They did a horrendous job last night. They were not good in any facet. So, yeah.
Well, the booth wanted to go down and give a humanitarian award to the one ref who protected JSN on the bench there.
No, that guy did his job because JSN would have died last night. So he did a great job of protecting him. But aside from that, the rest of the referees were not very good.
I love how during that skirmish, Chris Fowler goes, well, you didn't do a good enough job in throwing a flag on the play. He said something like that. It's pretty hilarious. John's coming in. Brando, can Christopher Walken give some positive support to Mike because he's a good dude and all those losses are brutal. He may need a collective roundtable hug.
Mike, let me tell you now, the darkest is always darkest before the dawn. You just got to get rid of Kyler Murray. It's time now. Let him go. $15 million. Who cares? He's gone. Kick him. Set time, baby.
Kick him.
I love it. That's awesome.
Like he's a football.
Yeah, kick him.
Just kick him.
Yes, he's so small. Little baby size, really. Just
Terrible.
one little tiny kick, and look at him fly.
Unexpected savage. This just in. Cardinals hire James Franklin in 2026 to stay mediocre and improve to 5-12. Just kidding. Love you, Mike. Stay strong, but go Rams. Mike, if that happens from a Penn State fan, I'm telling you, take all your stuff down from behind you and move on. Just move on with your life. I'm telling you.
Hopefully Brian.
Went outside the box.
Yeah. Ethan, all I wanted is a Mariners World Series devastated today.
For y'all.
So bummed for you guys too.
It's coming around, man. At the beginning is here. This ain't the end. This is a young team, great farm system, a lot of money they can still go spend when they want to. So we'll be fine down the road. But I get it. It hurts today. That don't make it feel better now.
No doubt. Darth Soldier coming in saying on this episode of That's So Mariners, the Giants give up 33 in the fourth. Yeah, that I still can't get over that. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't even know it was possible to do that. Seriously, you'd have to have 5 drives to essentially to score that many points. And I don't even, it was insane.
Did you guys see the stat? It was like
1,080 games prior that had gone the other way.
1,602 consecutive games NFL teams had won when leading by 18 plus points with 6 minutes or less to play in the fourth quarter until the Giants lost it to the Broncos.
That doesn't get you fired. I don't know what does.
Yeah, dude, you're not kidding. Simo Jet. Wow, are we kidding with Simo tonight? Holy moly!
I see red.
Man, Simo, we do not deserve you. Coming in saying, Brandon, sorry for this, but us fans like to see you win.
Yeah, baby. Where's my sunglasses on that, Simo? Hold on.
Show them out.
Looking so bright, boys. Future's looking so bright.
Damn right.
I gotta wear shades.
Guy's going blind over there. It's so bright. Look at him. Simo, really appreciate you, man. Showing so much love tonight. Does not go unnoticed. Thanks a ton. Feed me more.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
You like Russell Wilson shot at Sean Payton? How about Sean Payton shot at Russell Wilson? That's what I saw.
Yeah, Payton's out of pocket.
Clap back.
Yeah.
Sean needs to shut up. He's so like this too, where he just provokes for no reason sometimes.
That
didn't feel like it was in Russ' nature though to take to Twitter and kind of clap back. It was kind of interesting. You know that must
Sean
really
threw him under the bus though. I mean, Sean sat there and had a whole moment to think it through where he's like, should I say this? This is probably an asshole thing to say. Let it fly.
And he always says it. He always says it like this, where he is. I cannot stand Sean Payton.
He knew what he was doing.
I cannot stand.
He definitely knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
Tommy Cox, one more 100-yard game, and JSN ties Largent. Wow! Oh, really?
It's awesome.
Wow.
He's on pace to break the all-time receiving yardage for a single season in the NFL if he can stay on this pace, which is just to me incredible. But I mean, it's long season still. We're not quite halfway there, so let's see if he can maintain it. But look, eventually, you got to figure defenses are going to start to slide some doubles his way because they've still been very slow with that.
Feed me more back in saying, let's finish the Isaac Bruce and Largent beef.
Well, we could probably be here for a while on that one.
Yeah.
Kian's coming in. Dimebag Darnold keeps stacking wins. Let's go. Man, tons of love coming in from Seattle side of things tonight, including Feed Me More, who's in again, saying, I like your power rankings, Jake. I saw the hand, by the way. Oh.
Third.
Seahawks, you got Seattle?
Wow. Seattle
at 3.
Rightful place there.
The Rams are back at 1. They proved it to me, and the Colts are at 2.
Man, who would have? That's just like everybody would have had it. Just like everybody would have had it. Propa, proud of the Niners. Countless injuries and still smacked every panelist's team. Don't care if all 8 Rams fans are salty. Man, buried that one in there. Hell of a job there, Propa. Feed me more back in. Jake, the Uncharted movie was buns. Not relatable.
I liked it. I guess I don't know why you didn't, but I liked it.
I feel like you don't go into that movie looking to relate to it.
I think it was more so this isn't like relatable to what we're talking about, but the Uncharted movie was buns.
I was going to say, isn't it a video game? But I'm looking to learn something from this, man.
There's 4 games in the series. I highly recommend playing them.
Love it. Propa.
Can we normalize spelling buns with a Z though? It's not
totally.
B-U-N-S. Like it's got to be with a Z.
Buns is way better with a Z. That is now an official rule of the show. You have to use a Z
need our
when you
own,
say
like,
buns. It's like when you spell
rule this.
dog D-O-G. It's got to be D-A-W-G. You can't do a D-O-G. It just doesn't
We do
count.
need our own constitution on this show.
Yep, and that'll be bill number 1. Z at the end of buns.
Yep.
Propa. The Pats went through multiple rebuilds and finally found their quarterback before the Bills reached the Super Bowl. That's got to sting more than a lifetime table to the arm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know, what has it been for Drake May now? 3 weeks?
Did you see his 20-plus yard passer rating is 158.3, aka perfect?
Yeah, I saw it all, Jake. I saw it all. And we'll all remember where it started. We'll all remember where it started on Sunday Night Football against the Bills in Buffalo.
Oh, man.
Wearing the rivalries uniforms. That's where we'll go back to when he wins 7 Super Bowls with the Patriots instead of 6.
When Chris Sims ranked him as 6th quarterback in that draft.
And now look at him, better than all the others, including Jaden Daniels at this point through this time of the season. Just crazy. PGZ. Yeah. Trade Drew Lock to the Raiders for a first-round pick. Now we're talking. PGZ's getting into his bag, trying to take Tom Brady for a ride.
Open for business, baby.
Megan's back in. Oh, and then to Germany for the German opening and London for closing. And the flight is 22 hours, so no excuses, Z. But listen, the excuses, I can't keep up with you, Megan. I can't keep up with you. You're globetrotting. I can't even keep track of where you're going to be. Germany to London,
for the
Australia.
Show, man.
Holy moly. I might need to go meet you out in Germany. That'd be fun. Loyal, though. Megan, not only loyal to her Hawks, but loyal to the Back to the Future show. I mean, I've never seen loyalty quite like this. It's impressive. Boo. People acting like me, the Jays aren't top 5 in payroll. Bo is coming back, and we can out-hit our mid-pitching. Jays in 6. Wow, I think you are the first person, Boo, that I've seen pick the Jays. So
definitely
good for you.
A Jays fan.
Yeah, I know we're all rooting for them. I haven't seen anybody come out and pick them. So bold. Props to you. We got Chacho coming in. Jake, how about my Cowboys, bro? I've been so happy. Man, they took it to Washington this past weekend.
I expected it, man.
Rumors, by the way, maybe them on Crosby. They might be trying to make
that, by the way,
on Crosby. That'd be an interesting move from their perspective.
It could do exactly what you had just talked about earlier, where there's never been an owner that's like basically done the 180 on being the part of the joke. But
I think it's a smart move because as much as I love Parsons, Crosby's a different player. Like he's going to stop the run. He's going to help you in the run game.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
they don't have to pay him. They don't have to pay him unlike they had to pay Micah. You trade for him, you got him on the contract. That's the key with it. He just signed a new deal.
Dallas has an offense that can compete with anybody. They just need a defense.
Yeah, Dak's been unbelievable. CD back, and he was unbelievable. Javante's running as good as
Pickens
anybody.
Looks better than Metcalf. So the Steelers are sitting there like, the hell? What did we do?
I know. It's crazy. Alex, double X coming in. Jacoby performing well, but not winning is a blessing in disguise. Lets the brass finally realize Kyler isn't the answer and keeps decent draft position. Wow, that is some 4D chess from AXX. That really is looking through a deeper lens there. That's pretty impressive. So could be the best of both worlds there. Henry's coming in. Nate Landman. That's it. That's all he's got. Love him. So does Henry. Tomorrow. Big fan is Henry. Unexpected coming in. Cup plays quarterback. Killed the momentum. Not a good call. Yeah, just not in that situation. You're up 14-0. At the bare minimum, you're guaranteed a 3-score lead. Weird time to run that play. Yeah,
they did with
throwing.
Yeah, they did with Milroe as well earlier, where it's just he's going good, Darnold's going fine, and then suddenly you do this wild thing where you take the ball out of his hands, and it just doesn't make any sense because he's cooking. Let him keep cooking.
Yeah, let him cook. Stefan's coming in. How does the chat poll say 30% Rams supporters? Never seen a Rams fan in the wild. Well, you should have came out to the NFC West event, Stefan. They were in droves. Mm-hmm. In droves. But it is, I guess I don't see them out. I'm on the East Coast. It's probably why I don't see them.
I see them all the time out here.
Yeah, they're around.
Yeah, they're around. Also, 3 cities. Only team to win a Super Bowl in 3 cities or championship in 3 cities. I mean,
Freddie.
Is that something you brag about?
I mean,
why not? I would.
Do I brag about it? No.
You're like the LeBron James of NFL teams. That's great.
But like for me, I've been a fan of them since. I mean, they were in the can of worms. So that's the thing. That's the thing, y'all. Is that everyone's like, oh, is he rooting for the Dodgers? Why do I got to root for the Dodgers? I didn't start liking the Rams when they moved to LA.
Well, it's like when you hear
I
a
watched
Cowboys
that.
fan, it's like, oh, well, you're rooting for, UNC or Duke, and you're rooting for the Yankees, and you're rooting for the.
You wanna know my trauma? I remember it like it was yesterday when Gus Frerotte threw 6 interceptions in a game starting for the St. Louis Rams.
Save me on trauma. Believe me, I could sit here for the next 3 hours. Freddie K coming in, 4th of July block party you saw. Well, I'll tell you what, Freddie, next year I might need to get the invitation because it looked incredible. Freddie's also saying that he, too, roots for Baker. And I think a lot of people are.
Well.
I think a lot of people have done a 180 there. And I think it's because Baker, in many ways, has done a 180. I think he grew up a lot, matured, and he's also playing better, too, which also helps. It's like when Belichick's winning rings, you kind of like the curmudgeon in him. And then when you go to UNC and the program's falling apart, it doesn't seem so, charming anymore. DVN. Jesse, got to wear a Sam Darnold MVP hat when we beat the Niners. Yes, when I'm manifesting. Also, Z-Bot, you invited to Thanksgiving hams, yams, and greens. I'm there. I'm there. Where, TVN? I'm ready. The fact that we're already even talking about that is crazy. We were about a month out from Thanksgiving. Halloween around the corner. It is rocketing, but I'm going to hold you to that, DVN, because that sounds delish. Danny B, teams are going to need a great O-line to beat the Hawks D-line. My bad for tuning in late. I'll watch the whole vid once it's not live. Danny, you the man. Appreciate you. And
Thank
as
you,
you're watching on the rewatch, hello again. Alex, Double X, back in the building saying, someone please look up Ronaldo's scoring. Yeah, we went down that block where we were trying to figure out what the hell is Siu. How do you do it? What is it again? It's not the ski. It's different than that, right?
No,
I'm not tapped in, man. All I keep seeing is this 6'7" thing. I'm like, dude, I'm too old for this. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. It's just, I'm 28 going on 50 or 68 at this point with some of this. Alex saying respect for everyone, but come on, 49ers all day, every day.
Joe Shanahan's doing the best coaching job in the division right now.
Yeah.
Not division, in the NFL
right now.
In the NFL
Totally.
right now.
NFL.
Totally.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Him or Shane Steichen, I feel like right now are the two candidates for coach of the year.
No, Shanahan's, you got to give it to Shanahan because at least the Colts have been building talent there and they're staying healthy. And no
And
coach, I don't know the
Vrabel's
coaches
also
in this
in the
league that
mix.
will
Vrabel's a
take
good
the
one.
roster and do something with it like he has.
I think it's just the optics of Daniel Jones where I feel like he'll definitely be a finalist. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan. And then the problem with Kyle Shanahan is, you've been to multiple Super Bowls or whatever. It's so hard to win these awards. But I think that the fact that he's even in that conversation right now just goes to show you how incredible of a job that he's actually doing. Joseph's coming in. Brock not playing is the best part of the season. Wow. Damn.
He's not a Brock fan.
I couldn't tell. Man, that's crazy. Feed me more. Mike, can you explain to me what a rebuild in football is? We don't hear that term very much in Seattle. And what's with all the cheap shots, Jesse?
I can't stand the Seahawks, so that's pretty clear.
It's an honest fella.
I grew up in the Northwest. I never saw Seahawks paraphernalia ever until like Matt Hasselbeck was there. So whatever. I can't stand
A rebuild
Seahawks.
is a BS excuse for Michael Bidwell to recoup some funds. That's all it is.
Cheetos coming in. Jesse, you make me proud to be a Niner fan. I love your zingers. Wow.
My guy. Thank you, Cheeto.
Very nicely said, Cheetah. Ramon coming in, who is a new member of the squad, saying NFC West stays being the most competitive. Hashtag go Rams. Ramon, once again, great to have you aboard.
Best division in football.
Joseph back in. I agree, Jesse. Brock isn't even a top 32 quarterback. Yeah, because we heard you definitely said that this episode, didn't you, Jesse?
He said multiple times,
Yeah.
I think, right?
Multiple
Jake,
times.
Jake?
Somebody's
Did he
gonna
tell it
clip
like
that
10,
one.
15
Yeah,
times?
Here we go.
He's
Can't
not-
wait to get retweeted on this one.
Oh, my God.
Who doesn't think he's
Every
a
week,
top
really.
32 quarterback? He's definitely a top 32.
No, not according to Jesse. You haven't heard him say it like 10,000 times?
Sometimes twice a week.
Sometimes I got to send a message in the private chat saying, listen, Jesse, like, we get it, brother. Like, it's
I know.
like,
You
Max the man.
retweeting that
You get it.
again? You just retweet it again?
Jeez. God, lay off the guy. He's a good guy, right? He seems like a good guy.
At least
Shadow
top
coming.
25. Come on.
Come on. At least top 40. If Cardinals trade Kyler Murray, send him to the Niners. So speaking of Niners quarterbacks, why don't we send Kyler Murray to the Niners with CMC, take Brock Purdy for Petzing's offense. Quarterbacks should both thrive. I mean, we will do an emergency episode if that happens. I don't care if it happens at 2 a.m., 2 in the afternoon. We will be live if that goes down for an instant reaction. That is One of the more crazy scenarios I have seen. Props to you, Shadow. That's a wild one. The best YouTube username on the planet, Brown Sausage, saying, the 5 of you have any big trade deadline pickups for your respective teams? Also, one another's teams. Also, go Hawks. Anybody think anything big is going to happen here? A couple weeks away from the deadline?
Nothing big.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald for my team, something like that.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
not
the
Will
issue is we don't have enough
McDonald. That's my guy.
teams in the sell mode here, Z-Bot.
Yeah.
It's the issue. I went through and looked. It's just everybody thinks they're kind of in it because everybody's kind of in it. And you need sellers to be able to go. And there's just 4 or 5 teams that are maybe going to quasi-sell a couple guys. So it's just hard to find the fit.
Yeah, it's a good point you make because you have so many teams in contention right now that I feel like a lot of them aren't going to want to pull the plug this early. So good point you make. And it'll be interesting. We're not too far away from seeing what those moves end up looking like in the near future here. Alex coming back in. You can tell a lot of chat's moms heavily abused Tylenol, but they're helping grow the channel. And you got to love seeing 600 plus every week on the reg. Bravo.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
go.
Love
Excellent
Alex.
work.
Well played.
Excellent work. Joseph back in once again. Free for all Rust intervention. First 220. Who wins? Oh,
Kyler Murray.
little MW2 callback there.
Yeah.
Free for
Little
all.
private lobby action. All right. Yeah, Kyler's definitely taking that. I always was terrible at that.
Kyler wins that all day, every day.
Quick scoping on Rust. I'm like, yeah, I was basically the target practice and when I play with my friends in that one. Terrible. Danny coming back in. Rango is the most underrated animated movie. Yep. Also, go Hawks. Looking for Torrey Horton to hit on one of these deep balls soon. Add that to the list of, one of those chats where you're looking at it like, man, I don't know how the hell we got there. But Rango is the most underrated
Rango
animated movie.
is good, though. It is.
It is a good movie.
That's the one with Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The animation's top, or what CGI is top notch and that stuff. That still holds up.
Is Torrey Horton's ankle okay? Like it looked like it.
Yeah,
I thought it
he
snapped.
came out of it okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it looked bad on tape, but he came out of it on the other side of it okay. And I think maybe there's a good chance I think he's going to get featured at some point. Teams keep stacking us at the highest rate in the NFL. I don't know why, but we have the highest stack box rate of anybody else out there, and that's part of the reason Sam's throwing these balls down the field is that's where the open space is at. So it's probably well said. Sooner or later, he's going to get a chance.
Yeah.
By the way, we should clip that at the 131 mark. Brandon goes, the animation for the movie Rango is very underrated. Jake then goes, is Torrey Horton's ankle going to be all right? That in a nutshell is this show. And I think if you could find one clip, it would be that. So I'm going to call back to that at some point because that is just a perfect representation of this show. Simo, I don't even have any words for you anymore, man. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Brandon, can you give me a little something? I mean, please help me out here.
Thank you, Simo.
Simo, I don't know what to do here. I feel like I should do something, and I just don't know what to do. So I'm going to read your chat. And you're saying, poor Rams and 49ers fans, as we say on the NFC West Meme Wars board. Wow, that sounds like something I got to check out. Flare up. Wow, this is above my pay grade here. What is it? Decantatory?
Decantatory. Yeah, that sounds right.
Mandatory? I don't know.
Decantatory term. Wow, I got to get over there. Sounds like I getting ready for a spelling bee. Flare up for your team as Seahawks are coming up. I can't wait. It will be a good game. Wow, Simo, unreal tonight. No words to describe your generosity. And you also just gave me the word of the day that I'm going to try to fit into my day-to-day here over the next couple of days. I still don't even know what the word is, but I'm going to look it up, try to use it. Nitsu.
Thank you, Simogen. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
seriously, for real. Hawks are the biggest Bird Blue Jays in 5. Angels Hawks fan. Okay.
It's awesome.
Interesting.
Hey, you know what they say about those Seahawks, Brandon? They are the biggest. They are the biggest right now. Nobody's bigger in the NFC West than the Seahawks. Catalyst is coming in.
Down.
Sorry, Z-Bot, but McDermott needs to go. Listen, Bills have never lost off the bye. They're playing McDermott's former team this upcoming week. They're a 7.5-point favorite. And Andy Dalton is starting for Bryce Young. If the Bills lose that game, which will be 3 straight, and I can't tell you the last time that they've lost 3 straight, there will be some insanely significant conversations. And I don't think it'll happen, but I think that there will certainly be conversations. Not that there aren't being had already by the fan base, but if you think you've heard conversations up until this point, if that happens, check out Bill's Twitter that afternoon. You'll never see anything like it.
Will they remove the distractions from the locker room like the Ravens?
Oh yeah, take the ping pong table out, and that'll get you. Get you to the Super Bowl. Yeah, incredible. It's like, oh no, half our team is completely depleted and injured, but let's take the ping pong table out. Levi, Super Roundtable, NFC West, AFC South division trash talk. Oh,
why we dominate them?
Yeah, that could be kind of cool. Do like a throwdown or something.
And I host that one, so I would have to play host and talk trash. That would be weird.
Lions don't pay mind to sheep.
Yeah.
Damn.
The real cheese just got here, Brandon. Does Riley Mills break out our D-line scale? What do you think his impact will be? All hail the Jack Bus. There it is.
I haven't still heard him coming back off the IR, and he was kind of a freebie pick where they had him as a top 50 player that they were able to get in the fourth round because he tore his ACL right at the end of the year in college. I think that they planned the whole way to kind of stash him unless something happens with like a Jaron Reed and there's an opening there. But if you brought him even off the IR right now, he'd be stacked on the depth chart because he's a 3 tech. So he wouldn't be playing. You've already got a kind of a log jam as it stands there right now.
Cryptic coming in. I love the NFC West. Niners stand up. We are winning it in our own stadium. More disappointed in AFC West. Just when you thought Los Angeles, Las Vegas, let Kansas City back in. Yeah, especially the Chargers, man. Starting off red hot, and they have certainly cooled down since.
How does it somehow feel like Kansas City's going to win the Super Bowl again? Like, what
because
are we doing
it
here?
100% feels like that,
They're
Jesse.
at least going to represent the AFC, I think.
Absolutely.
It does look like that. And the Chargers lost those linemen, man. That's how they built that team, is on the back of an offensive line. The second that both those guys went down, you knew that was going to be that was where they put everything into that.
100%. And you can see it.
I agree completely.
But I agree with you guys. It feels like Kansas City's the best in the business right now. What else is new? I think we all just prey on the downfall for so long and so frequently that when they do come back around, it's just a gut punch because you're just waiting for it to stop, and it never stops. All right. Well,
watch them get aggressive at the deadline. Watch them do some aggressive move at the deadline.
Oh, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Watch rusher the Raiders give them Jacoby Myers just for shits and gigs.
Yeah, just something like that where it's just like, oh, really?
Like, it'll be like, it's already bad enough that you're potatoes over there. But then you're going to, like, it'll be something like that.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about it. My God, we're delaying the inevitable. We are just delaying the inevitable. Fast forward to championship weekend.
And then here we go. Dynasty.
I just hope one of your teams can get out of the inevitable gauntlet that is this division, make it to the Super Bowl and beat them. That's what I hope for anymore. That's what I root. That's my rooting interest because it's inevitable at this point. The inevitability here, unfortunately, is that we got to put a bow on this episode. Only us could go $140 with only one game to preview next week, but that is the NFC West Roundtable for you. And we appreciate every single one of you who tuned in this evening. Nearly 700 of you, not only here for the show, but here throughout the full duration. So much love to everyone. We can't say it enough, but we appreciate you more than you know. And we appreciate you joining us tonight as we recapped week 7. Look forward to week 8. Next week, we'll recap the Niners, essentially. That's what we got coming your way next week. And, of course, we'll preview week 9 from there, right where you're at right now on the NFC West Roundtable. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for us tonight. For Brando, for Jake, Jesse, and Mike, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning into the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.